Hi guys, it's Phoebe. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my most anticipated releases that are coming up in 2021. So let's jump right into it. The first book I've actually already ordered because it came out on the 12th. It is The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Waggoner. The summary that I found for this book was pretty vague. I know that it's a fantasy. I know that it's about witches. I feel like it's set in like a Victorian England kind of scenario. I know that of the two main characters, one is a petty thief who sees like an ad to be a bodyguard, and so they become a bodyguard, and the lady that needs the bodyguards ends up falling in love with one of the bodyguards. I really hope it's the female petty thief that signs up for the ad. I don't know if we'll get that lucky, but that's what I'm hoping for. The next book is coming out on January 26th. It is by the McElroy brothers. It is Everybody Has a Podcast, how to make a podcast and how to get rich doing it. It's basically a how-to guide for podcasting. I'm interested in it because I'm interested in podcasts, and I've been toying with the idea of starting my own podcast. I feel that's like what everyone does, but I think it would just be something neat to read and look into. The next book comes out on February 2nd. It is 400 Souls. It is by Ibram X. Kendi, who also wrote How to Be Anti-Racist, and Keisha N. Blaine. Really, it's not by them, they've edited several stories, or like 90 stories I want to say, so a bunch, by entirely Black authors. So I thought that would obviously be a pretty interesting read. The next book comes out on February 9th. It is by my favorite author, Kristen Hanna. It is The Four Winds. It is an epic novel of love, heroism, and hope in 1934 Texas. It is about, what's the main character's name? Elsa Martinelli, who during the Great Depression is deciding whether she wants to stay in like Texas during the Dust Bowl and Great Depression or go out west to California. I can only assume she decides to go west to California. Also on February 9th, Game Changer by Neal Shusterman comes out. This book is about a boy named Ash who gets a concussion while he's playing football, and his concussion like knocks him into an alternate reality, and then he like keeps falling through different realities. So I thought that sounded really interesting, and I really like Neal Shusterman, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Another book on February 9th is The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. This is about a world in which a deadly flu outbreaks and changes society as we know it. Shocking. And a teenage girl and her dog pass through a magic portal. And I looked on Goodreads, and someone who I guess had an arc for the book has already said that the dog doesn't die in this book. So I'm really happy that I can go in knowing that. Okay, and another book on February 9th. I'm realizing that's going to be a very busy day for me. The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. This is a book about a society where there's like a coming of age ceremony where people bleed, I guess, or like it's somehow ceremoniously, that when they're like coming of age, they make them bleed to see if they bleed like normal red blood or gold blood. And if it's gold blood, I think it's like not good, like you don't want to have gold blood. Obviously in this book the main character is gonna bleed gold blood, and this like mysterious woman ends up finding her and telling her about this army that's made up of soldiers that are all women that bleed gold, the Gilded Ones. She's gonna go on this like journey. I don't know, sounds neat. Next, there are a couple of books coming out both on March 9th. One is All the Murmuring Bones by A.G. Slatter. This is about a family where they've been cursed. Every generation they're supposed to sacrifice a child in order for their shipping business to be successful, and they haven't done it in many like generations, and finally this grandmother decides that they're going to go back to doing it because she's tired of the family like being in decline. So I guess it's going to be about our main character probably trying to not be murdered by their grandmother. Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley also comes out that day. So this is a book about one girl who is cursed to never be able to feel love, and one girl has like the magic is powerful enough magically to like break that curse. I'm pretty sure they end up falling in love with each other is how it sounds like it's gonna be, so I just hope it's good. The next book to come out will be on March 23rd. It is Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. It's the second book in the, where is that, Fireborn trilogy. So in this one, we will be like reunited with our main characters, Annie and Lee, who are going to be struggling with their new roles that they wound up in at the end of the first book. And there is also going to be a new dragon rider, and I believe he's going to be on like the other side of the rebellion, so we're going to get that perspective as well. The next book to come out will be on April 13th. It is Victories Greater Than Death by Charlie Jane Anders. This book, the summary didn't, I feel like, give me much about what the story was going to be like. It's basically just said the human clone of the most brilliant alien commander of all the galaxies is here to save the world. Sounds neat enough to me. I guess I'll try it and see what I think. Next, we've got a couple books coming out on April 20th. One of them is Hour of the Witch by Chris Bohjalian. Would it even be one of my videos if I didn't have an author's last name that I couldn't pronounce? It is a historical suspense novel. It's about a Puritan woman who is trying to escape a violent marriage and is also suspected of being a witch at the same time. So I'm really excited about that. The other book coming out that day is Dustborn by Erin Bowman. The main character, Delta, this book is supposed to be kind of like a Mad Max vibe kind of book because the main character, Delta, has a map tattooed on her back, and this is like a post-apocalyptic world where everything is like a desert, hence like Dustborn. And the map that's on her back is supposed to be to this place called the Verdant, where there's like water. And she sets out to find the Verdant and to save her family. Oh, another book also coming out on that same day is Witches Steeped in Gold by Ciano Smart. It's a book about two witches. One is a prisoner, one is a princess, and they join forces to take on a mutual threat. It's basically all of the summary that's out so far. Enough to be interesting. Then we've got a couple of books coming out on May 4th. One that I'm super excited for, probably one of my like highest anticipated reads of the year, is by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian and, oh, what is the one on the moon? Artemis. His new book is called Hail Mary. It's about an astronaut who wakes up on a spaceship, and that astronaut had been like on a mission. I can't remember if it's a man or a woman, on a mission to like save the world, and they had like this team of astronauts, but they wake up, they're the only one alive, and they have no memory of what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm super excited for that. I love Andy Weir's other books, so can't wait to see what that one is like. Another one that I think is going to be really neat coming out that same day is by Jennifer Saint. It is Ariadne. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it doesn't sound right. But anyway, this is the author's debut novel, and it is a retelling of Theseus and the Minotaur from the like female perspective of that story. So I think that could be neat. I'm interested. And finally, the last book that's coming out this year that I have a release date for yet is The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. It's set in Victorian Prague. There's a like secret vampire hunting society called the Lamplighters. The main character is supposed to be bi and is part of this vampire hunting whatever. And I guess they're going to be hunting vampires. I don't know. Again, sounds interesting enough for me to want to read it. So I guess looking at this list, a lot of like YA fantasy, sci-fi kind of stuff, but I'm excited for it. Happy to see what I think of all these reads. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see me read them eventually. Hopefully I'll like all of them, but maybe we'll get one or two good rant reviews out of them. But I kind of hope if I have any rant reviews, it's not for these books, because I'm really looking forward to getting them. Well, I will see you guys in my next video soon. Bye!